Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, really glad you're here today.
We're excited to have you here today where we're going to be talking about workflows and systems that can help you improve outcomes on your discovery and sales calls. So if you are someone who pre-qualifies leads or someone who needs to have a conversation with leads before they're able to pay and start working with you, this is for you. If you want to feel more confident going into these calls and increase your close rates, I think you're really going to enjoy what we've put together here for you. So before we get into it, head over into the chat. Let us know where you're coming in from. Who do you help? What do you do? What does your sales process look like? Really interested to hear from you. There's so many different types of businesses that use AttractWell. We are an all-in-one solution for you. If you are a coach, a service provider, if you create and sell courses, information, products, time, whatever that looks like, we've got everything that you need all in one place to put yourself out there, automate a lot of parts of your business or practice, and of course, serve your clients well. Greg and I are going to hop out of video and get into some slides that I've prepared for you here today. Do go ahead and get into that chat. It's always exciting to hear from you guys. So as promised, today we are going to be talking about workflows and systems to support your discovery calls and sales calls. So what we're going to be getting into are some systems first. I'm going to really kind of get into what it looks like to have systems in place that help your calls to be a success from the get-go. I think a lot of us, especially if sales isn't something that feels natural or comfortable to us, we kind of bristle at the idea of this. We get a little bit anxious at the idea of maybe getting on a call and offering, selling, closing someone. If that's not something that you feel super good about, understand that what impacts your closing rate more than anything is what happens before you even get on the call. So if you're interested in having systems in place that will increase your numbers without you having to feel like you are a salesperson, you're going to love this. All right. So we're going to talk about the systems that need to be in place to make your closing successful. And then we'll actually talk through what it looks like for you to show up, log into AttractWell, and conduct that discovery call or that sales call that you will be getting onto with your next client. And then, of course, as always, we have live help and Q&A. We do have several folks signed up for live work reviews. If that is you and you signed up for a spot today, maybe just pop pop into the Q&A and just say hello. I'm here for that. And we'll be getting to you at the close of the call. We do dedicate the second half of these calls to working with you guys live. So if you have questions, even if they aren't pertaining to today's topic, and of course, if they come up for you throughout the training, feel free to pop those into the Q&A live here on the call. Greg is the creator of this system and is able to answer questions. Of course, if you want something that's more strategically oriented or you have questions, follow-up questions about what I'm sharing, I'll be able to see those here as well. So add this to the Q&A. And if you're watching us, this is a replay, come join us. We're live every Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time, and you can be notified of all of our trainings, get our replays and our resources by going to attractwell.com/office hours, hopping on that list and coming and joining us on one of these awesome calls. So if you'd like to work together like two people have chosen to do here today, you can go to attractwell.com/work review to sign up for our review. That'll get you dedicated space where we can absolutely work with you on a call like this one. Like I said, we do save the second half of the call for this purpose and for generally working together with folks who are here. And if you would like to have someone just do work for you, that's an option as well. You can go to attractwell.com/concierge to learn more about our team, see their work, and sign up for a no obligation exploratory call to see what it might look like to work together on your project. All right, so let's get into this. Who does discovery and sales calls? I assume if you are here on this call today, this is something that you either are doing or you are interested in getting started with. So excited to kind of hear more about your guys' business and what it is that you do. So let's first talk about the systems. This really is the most important thing. We're going to get into workflows and kind of what it means to practically conduct a call like this. But the most important thing that I hope you take away from today is your systems, right? Better systems mean better closing rates. Obviously, if you are gifted at sales, you could take any presenting circumstance and turn it into a close. And if that is you, more power to you, good for you. But if you are looking for ways to scale, especially if you would like to perhaps eventually hire someone to handle your sales for you, having systems in place is going to help you get that done a lot more efficiently. You'll be able to better diagnose places that aren't performing as well in your sales process. And of course, systems are the things that run smart businesses. All right. So the first thing that I want to encourage you to do, if you are not doing this already, please use a questionnaire. Don't just put your calendar link out there for the world for people to just hop on your calendar and take up your time. Put a screening mechanism in front of it. Use a questionnaire so that you can pre-qualify, so that you can, obviously with pre-qualifying, we're not just pre-qualifying for an offer. We need to determine whether or not this is a good use of both your and their time, right? So pre-qualify, and also because of the nature of the questions that you may be asking in this questionnaire, you can set the tone and the expectation for the person going into the call simply by the questions that you are including in the pre-call questionnaire, right? The idea of posture and people walking into a circumstance where their posture is such that someone is receptive to being sold, this will do that for you far more than you assuming any kind of posture and acting as if in any type of way in a sales situation. So use a pre-call questionnaire. Allow calendar booking only after someone has filled that questionnaire out. And then approach the questions that you ask on your call. So when you're on the call, I want you to follow a system of the questions that you ask. There is a cadence that you ought to be following. When you have a discovery call, you need to be conducting yourself essentially the same way, following a system with every discovery call you have. Right. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what that looks like here today as well. And I have a resource that I will point you guys to if it's something that you don't already have in place. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do that satisfies two of these three things is to create a discovery call funnel. Now, this is fairly simple to do in AttractWell. You're going to start with a page, right? So just going into pages in AttractWell and creating a page. That page should have a form on it. That form can display on the page. It can be a pop-up. It doesn't matter. But what I want you to do is require answers to qualifying questions. So depending on what it is that you know that you are ultimately selling, you may be asking questions about commitment levels. You may be asking question about budget, about presenting circumstances, right? Pain points. Require answers to questions and really do your best to make these really good questions. These are questions that are going to help you understand what their objections might be before they even get on the call. These are questions that might help you better determine whether or not you think you would actually be able to offer this person what you ultimately want to sell, or if maybe you might want to downsell, right? So instead of making a bigger pitch based on the information that they've provided, you may go in choosing to do something a little different, right? After they have answered those qualifying questions on that form, we're going to redirect them to a confirmation page. Then we're also at the same time, and this is all set up on the page, right? So I'm just tabbed in. This is still on the page with the form. We've got the form with where we answer questions. They're redirected to a confirmation page, and a campaign, just with one message, is going to send them a link to a booking page. And a booking page is the second part of this funnel. This is a page in AttractWell where you have got your calendar system embedded. So if it's Calendly, Acuity, Schedule Once, whatever you use, all of these calendar booking systems have a means of embedding a form on a booking form or a calendar on a page. You're just going to create a page in AttractWell that's viewable by link only that has this calendar embedded. And so that's going to create a seamless experience. We're not going to be sending them to Calendly or some other website. They're actually going to still be going to your website. They'll just see this calendar form embedded. Now, quick note, when you set up that calendar for this type of event that someone can book with you, set up a recurring meeting link in AttractWell for this type of call. And the location of the meeting will be that link, that recurring Zoom link in AttractWell. And then finally, you're going to want to have one or more confirmation pages, depending on how you set this up. This is what it looks like. So we've got our pages in blue we're looking at up at the top, and our campaign is this message in green down here at the bottom. So what they're going to see is a form on a page. They're going to fill that out. Then what they see next is a confirmation page. Hey, thanks for filling out the form. I've sent you an email. Go check your email. And from there, you'll be able to book with me. Okay. So that means in the campaign, we are sending a link to our booking page. Now they click the link in the email. They're going to the booking page. And you do have the option, depending on how you use, so like Calendly, for instance, if you have free Calendly, there is a built-in confirmation page and you can't modify it. If you have paid Calendly, you could create a call confirmation page in AttractWell and have them maybe redirect to that after they have booked. So you do have that option there as well. It's a very simple funnel. This will improve your closing rates. Period. Because you're going to be going into these calls better armed, right? You're going to go in understanding their circumstances. You're going to go in with an idea of what their objections are probably going to be if you have asked the right questions on the discovery call intake form. So basically what we do is we share this form, people fill it out. We can go and reference what they have said on that form in their in the past actions on their contact card in AttractWell. From there, you're able to have an idea of what you want to offer based on their responses. Now, here's where we can take this a step further. Have you guys, anybody that's here today, have you set up private client dashboards in AttractWell? Are you familiar with this as a concept? Interested to see if that's the case. Essentially, what we are able to do is, so you know what a vault is in AttractWell? So we have member areas in AttractWell. You have a member area if you have an AttractWell account. And inside the member area, we have vaults. Now, vaults are where we can have communities, courses, group programs, etc. Well, you can also use a vault for a single client, right? So a private client dashboard. Now, you're probably going to want to have the unlimited vaults and classes add-on with AttractWell to do this. But essentially what you're able to do is have a template vault that has all of your intake process, discussion room where you can privately communicate back and forth with that one client in the same space where your agreements are, where your videos are, where all this other stuff is. And you can even take payment, like even recurring payment, just for that client on that vault. It's pretty cool. We have additional training on this, but if this is something that you do or that you plan to do, what I would recommend that you do before you get on the call is go ahead and take 5 minutes and set that dashboard up, because you're going to show them this place that you've created for them. It took you 5 minutes. It looks like you took 7 years on it, but it took you 5 minutes, and you're able to go and show them that and use this as a tool to close. So if you are doing this, set that up before you get on the call, again, assuming the close. And either way, even if you're not using private client dashboards, have something prepared to show and tell. One of the things that we go over in the client funnel challenge is creating a sort of journey map for a client that assists you in the sales process. And one of the exercises that I recommend in that program is for you to create a visual map, something that you can show, right? Something that demonstrates this is where you are and this is the journey that you're going to go through, right? Have some kind of visual tool that you are able to show and then maybe even give to them. Right? So maybe like a PDF or something like that. If for whatever reason you're walking away from the call, having not closed, this gives them something to reference. Now, I also, again, highly recommend, like I mentioned previously, that you follow a system while you're on the call, meaning you're asking the same questions in more or less the same order with every lead that you get. And so you do that by having a call flow. Now, if you don't know what that is or you're unfamiliar, I have mine in here for you. And guys, it's free. So go to the Success Academy, click online resources and courses. And then right here, you see outlined in red, the Client Funnel Challenge. This is It was originally a 4-week live program that we ran where we were setting up a funnel over the course of 4 weeks and then launching it. And of course, what we cover in the final week there is all of the launch aspects, including the discovery call funnel. So you're gonna find that in week 3 down here. Launch your funnel. The discovery call is the name of that lesson. And so what you're gonna find in there is a training on conducting discovery calls and a PDF where you can actually print out and follow along with my discovery call template, right? Or you could use it to create your own. So definitely recommend that you grab that. All right, so let's talk about a workflow for conducting our discovery and sales calls in AttractWell. So like I mentioned before, you have a recurring meeting link that you will have set up in your calendar booking software. You're going to click the start meeting link for that recurring meeting. And you're going to do that at the set date and time. Of course, if you, again, are using a private client dashboard, you're going in a few minutes before and you are setting up their personal vault with payment options ready to go and share with them on the call. So start the meeting at that set date and time with that recurring meeting link. If you do record your calls, record it to the cloud. If you intend to save it, it'll make your life a lot easier and you'll be able to put that into your AttractWell videos if you choose. And then before your client is on the call, you're going to click add in past actions on their contact card so that you can log notes from this call. You may want to look through past actions and reference some of their answers to questions from the form that they filled out previously. That's going to be in past actions as well. You can open up that call flow template so you can stay on track with your questions that you're asking and the conversation that you are having toward the close. And then when it's time to make the offer, always remember to get their buy-in before you start talking about price, before you demonstrate anything, right? Because one of the things that you'll learn in this the discovery flow training that I've mentioned here today, you guys, is okay. So basically what you want to do is follow this flow of questions, right? Where you are reaching an arc in the conversation where this person is seeing themselves with the results they want. What I want you to do is get the buy-in from them that they are ready to take action over the next 90 days, over the next 6 months, and work on this. Get their buy-in that they are ready to get that result. Discuss, and again, I go in over this in the training, discuss what it looks like for them to not get the thing that they want, that they can have with you. What is the cost of not moving forward? And are you ready to take action, right? Before you get into presenting and talking about price. And of course, once you've got their buy-in, you could go and screen share that already set up private member dashboard, this private client dashboard. You could, at this point, screen share that visual markup of the journey that you'll have with them. That's certainly an option. You could set up a page in AttractWell where you go over this, and then just always assume the close, right? Because they've come to you because they know you are someone who's qualified to help them. They've answered questions and disclosed information that shows that they are not only seeing you as someone who can help them, but also they are ready, if not close to ready, to taking next steps, right? So assume that they are going to say yes on the call. Go ahead and take payment on the call. If they are ready, ask them how they would like to pay today. If they say yes, show them the link and walk them through what it looks like to put their information in and purchase. Absolutely do this. You have no idea how many closes you will lose by simply saying, let's get started tomorrow, or let's get started next week, or whatever that pause looks like. Because in that pause, we cannot rewind to that moment in time where that person said, I get the vision. I see myself winning with you. I am ready. That is the time to take payment. All right. So do what you can to make sure that you're assuming the close and taking payment while you're on the call. And if you know you won't close on the call, BAM FAM. It's one of my favorite little acronyms. Book a meeting from a meeting. If for whatever reason they are unable to close and you have gotten a full buy-in and they have said yes, if for whatever reason you can't close right now, do not leave the call until you have on the calendar the next time that you're meeting. Have it scheduled. Don't leave this in the wind or it will fly away. And then, of course, if you are going to be sharing information, again, this could be a PDF, it could be a link to purchase, maybe that private client dashboard, your purchase link to that vault. It could be a sales page, whatever it is that you prefer to use. Have that linked up in a saved reply for you to easily send a follow-up email out to this lead, maybe of course also reminding them of their next meeting with you as well, and instructions on what to do where that's concerned. All right, so I know there are going to be questions. Let's get into those live help and Q&A. Let me actually go show you guys really quickly because I know again there are questions about this. So in the AttractWell dashboard here, first let's talk about, first let me show you in the client funnel challenge. This is where you want to go. This is going to be in the AttractWell member area. Of course, you're going to get access to this by clicking the link over here in the Success Academy under online courses and resources right here. It's this client funnel challenge. Click this, it'll get you access. When you get into here into the modules, that discovery call flow is going to be found right down here under discovery call. You've got about, I want to see an 18, 20-minute training, 30, just kidding, 30-minute training. I do go over it in detail. And then I've got a full PDF on this. Lots of questions that you can be asking in the actual call itself. Now, I saw that there were questions about like what you might ask in the intake form. Let's actually go take a look at what it would mean to set up an intake form. This is actually quite simple. So we go to pages. I'm just going to click add here. And we don't really need to have anything too fancy. I'm going to create a blank page and just insert one column, no header. And what I'm going to do here is just type the word form in brackets. I'm going to hit done. And then I'm going to go up here to settings. Under leads, I'm going to show the form. Lead capture form shows on the page. Okay. And from here, I can say whatever it is that I want to say. So this is going to be apply for a call with Jane. And I'll say, let's do this for the button. I'll keep it blue. And then we'll say, answer the questions below to the, let's see, to your best ability. I look forward to speaking with you. Okay. And then I'm going to get down here into the fields. This is where we get to ask questions. So we can add so many fields here, you guys, so much we can do here. You can require answers to questions by checking this box here. You type in your question or whatever the prompt is. You can choose to have short text responses or long text responses. You can have multiple choice, right? So pick multiple, pick one from a drop-down list or displayed on the page. Let's see, I'll pull this one here and then I'll go to edit the list, drop-down list, pick one, and I'll add items here. Right. And then there's just so much that you can do here where this is concerned. Maybe I want a list, pick multiple, and then we need to go in and add our items, right? So I am this or I am this, right? And let's actually go take a look at what this is starting to look like by previewing on the page here. Here we go. So there's the title. Here's the prompt. And then, of course, I'll need to ask questions here. We have the drop down. We have the check the boxes. We have short answers. We have long answers. So you can create a form just like this. Now, once you're done creating the form the way that you like it, obviously you do want to give it a name. The title bar text and link path will automatically populate. You can change those if you want. But let's go down here to what happens after a lead registers. Here, we're going to attach that campaign that we mentioned. So you just create a campaign that has one message in it, and that message needs to link to our booking page. Okay. So this is book a call. I think I might have one. Sure, I'll just do that. And this is going to be a strategy call lead. Here we go. That's my tag. And then that page I want to redirect to is a confirmation, apply for a call confirmation. I think I already have one here. Nope, I'm just going to say confirmation. And that confirmation page just needs to say, thanks for applying. Look forward to speaking with you soon. Check your email for a link to book with me. Okay. So that's how you would set that page up. Now let's go take a look at what it would look like to create a booking page. The first thing that you want to do here is go into your Zoom meetings, create a recurring meeting link. So let's say here's a discovery call one that I've already set up. Let me show you how I have that set up. I am not automatically starting video for anyone. The waiting room is enabled, and it is a recurring meeting link. All right. So I'm going to copy link, and I'm going to go into Calendly because that's what I use. And I am going to create a booking event. Here we go. New event type is a one-on-one with me. And this is going to be a strategy call or whatever you want to name it for whatever the duration is. This is location. We're going to go to custom, and then we're going to paste that link in, and we're going to display only after confirmation. You continue with the process of setting up. If you are using our call is confirmed custom confirmation page in AttractWell, you can create that. And then, of course, you can set that up in here as well. So after, you can set that up in Calendly to where it redirects. So when you want to share this, we're going to go to share. We're going to go to add to website, inline embed, and then we're going to copy the code. And I am doing this quickly, guys. We do have step-by-step slower training on this in particular. I just want to make sure that we're covering it all. All right, so going back over here into AttractWell, I've got my code for my page. I'm going to go over to pages and create a booking page. So just like I did with the previous one, I'm going to create a blank page. You could do this differently. You obviously can insert this into something with a bit more design, but just in a one-column section with no header, I'm going to go couple of options here. What I like to do, if you're someone who is reticent to enter into code view and the brackets make you nervous, I don't blame you. What you can do is go over here and pretend like you're adding a video. And then you're going to click embed code and just paste that code that it gave you and click use embed code. I know it's not a video, but it will embed on the page and you'll be able to view it. Here you go, right here. And then this then becomes, obviously name it, make it available by link only, because you don't want anybody to be able to just find this on the internet. And then this is the page that you link to from your campaign. All right. Now, if somebody goes to that form, fills it out, that discovery call application form that we covered first, their information is going to be on their contact card, and it's going to be in past actions under notes. So all you have to do is scroll down to past actions. We can filter past actions for note, filter, and then you can actually see responses, right? So here are the responses that were given. If multiple forms have been filled out, you probably see those here as well. So yeah, you can actually go in, reference those, and then when it's time and you're on the call with them, you go right over here to add, and you go to maybe meeting or call, and you add your notes there. Now, final thing I want to make sure you guys see, just because I did mention this, and obviously we're not able to get into this in detail on this call, but if you want to offer private client dashboards, as I've mentioned here, let me actually show you an example of this that's set up in AttractWell. So I've got a template vault that I'm calling 90 Days to a Better You. And this is a template vault, meaning no one is going to be in this vault. This vault is going to be used for the express purpose of creating the experience that I want all clients to have. And then I'm going to be using copies of this vault. to create the private client dashboard. And so what I've put into here are the curriculum, which in this case includes a welcome video, and then we've got agreements and accountability. So I need them to fill out and submit forms, agreements, contracts, etc. I will include those things as maybe downloads on this page, or I am, maybe embedding forms from a signature software, what have you. In this case, I'm not only requiring that they upload something to this lesson in order to proceed, I also want to take a look at it and make sure that it was done correctly. So I'm requiring instructor approval and homework. Note as well that because this is a 90-day program, I don't want them to be able to access day 90 information on day one. So I have these set up to drip at different intervals, right? So you can do that as well. I've also included ways to book with me at different milestones that are included, the booking form right there. So basically the entire experience is guided, and the guide is automated, right? I don't have to be present for every single interaction. They can be self-led, and I can show up on calls. And this allows you, if you're doing this, to serve so many more clients more effectively at once. Obviously, there's probably a cap for you as to how many private clients you can have at one time, but that cap will go higher than it is for you right now if you have structures like this in place. Here, I've got a page for coaching call replays. We've got a discussion room where we can chat privately. And then basically what I'm doing here, if I want to replicate this, if it's time, let's just say I'm going to get on a call with a great lead and I want to go ahead and have this set up so that it's ready for them. What I'm going to do is actually go into my resource bundles. Copying a vault is not the same. It's a bit more complicated than copying a page or a campaign or other assets in AttractWell. So you can see I've actually created a resource bundle already for this vault. Essentially what we're doing is we're creating a new resource bundle, we're naming it, and the resource we're adding to it is that vault. And that vault is our 90 Days to a Better You. And then you're basically going to create this vault and claim it yourself, which looks like this. I'm going to click it and view it. And then I'm going to check the box and then click Claim Bundle. And then I can actually go over here and make some changes, right? So this has the wrong name. Maybe I'm going to set this up for Joe. I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to go into payment setup, require a payment, set up the payments, right? So maybe Joe is going to be paying, he's got two options. He's got a 3-part payment of $800, or he's got a monthly payment of $500 for a year, or whatever that looks like. And then that checkout page we can give to him, and this is his vault. And so when he goes and logs into your member area, I actually have the Ashley one open right here that you guys can see. This is inside of the member area. Maybe they have access to other content in your member area, but this is just for that client. Now they can go in and they can chat with you privately. They can progress through your curriculum, etc. Right? So all of that is there for them. So just in case you are maybe looking for some ways to serve more dynamically and streamline even more in your business, that is a great option. And again, along the lines of assuming the close and making sure that you are closing more sales, if you have something like that created for even a decent lead when you get on a call, they're already seeing themselves working with you if we're conducting our discovery call correctly. How much more are they seeing themselves working with you when they literally have a resource on your website that's fully locked and loaded, ready to go, that has their name on it? It's going to help you close. Okay, what might be some question examples for a general life coach? Well, I don't think you're a general life coach. So that's a difficult question to answer because it's a bit too broad. Think about the outcomes of your program, your offer, and specifically who that's for. But the nature of the questions that I would be asking are around the outcomes that they're looking for and why they want them, right? So if I could wave a magic wand right now and life could look exactly as you want it, what would that look like? Now, that's something I would ask more likely on a discovery call because it's more of a conversational thing than it would be asking criteria. So depending on what your outcomes are, so let's just say you're a life coach, but you're a life coach for business owners, then you're going to want to know a little bit about the business owner, right? Like, what does your daily routine look like? How much money are you making? How much money do you want to be making? How is the problem that you've just told me that you have, how is that impacting your ability to make money, right? Is that impacting other parts of your life? What does that look like, right? So just, you want to really ask questions that are revealing not just what they want, but why they want it, right? And what it will cost them to continue moving forward doing what they were already doing, what it has cost them already at this point. You want to be exploring those things before you even get onto the call. And that is going to have someone arrive a bit more open to having that type of a discussion, right? Because they've already gotten into some digging and disclosure before they've even hopped on with you. All right. Hi, Mark. How would you handle having the new client sign a coaching contract? So we actually did a training on a bunch of different options recently. It really depends on what your needs are from a structural or legal basis. But generally speaking, for a coaching contract, the lowest tech option would be to utilize that private client dashboard and have that online class be where they start their work with you, right? So the links to book with you are going to be in subsequent lessons. And in order for them to get to those lessons, they have to submit homework and get your approval to be able to pass that first lesson, which is download this agreement, fill it out, and upload it. First thing you have to do. You will not book with me. You will not receive anything from me until you do these things, right? So, so that's my preferred way of doing this. But there are other options that you can check out on those other trainings. Okay, let's see. Hey, TL. I'd always been coached to not be pushy and recommend getting back to the client with a proposal within 48 hours of the discovery call with a limited time period offer. The philosophy being that this makes the coach look more relaxed, less needy, etc. Any thoughts? I asked because I've also had the experience where I thought closing while on the call might have been more effective from a sales point of view, but I also work with artists who are sensitive and don't like being sold to a lot. Got it. Yeah, so I would go with what's authentic to you, but I will say that just from a numbers perspective, you are going to close more if it's a yes when you close on the call itself, because life happens in between, and that is an unbelievably huge gap, even if it's tomorrow that you would be getting back to them, right? So if you are getting onto a call with someone and your offers are such that maybe you are putting together something that's customized, then I would maybe kind of break the strategy call up into 2 calls, right? Where you are, discovering what you're going to be putting into a proposal, and then you're going to have a continuation of that call, because you're not even going to talk money aside from maybe their budget, their goals, or whatever in that first call. But then in the second call, you go back into sort of that strategy call mode where we're getting their buy-in about what they want and how they'd like to see it. And then you lay out the plan for them. But in either case, when you have said, here's what you will get, are you in? And they say yes, don't wait to take payment. That's not pushy at all. That's respectful of their time and yours. Why would you need to draw the process out any further if you're both a yes and you're excited to work together? So that's my point of view. I think, there's certainly other ways to look at it that are no doubt valid. But out of interest for their time and mine, I don't think that it's pushy once we decide that we're a fit to go ahead and, and take the next step. They could always say, let me sleep on it, and then you're fine, right? This isn't a hard sell. It's just all right, cool. How would you like to get started? We can go ahead and pop your payment in here. I could get you the link. And then let them say, oh, well. And, if they actually aren't going to close, they're going to give you their objections right there that you can deal with. But if they are ready, they were ready yesterday, like they take the payment and be done. That's my 15 cents. All right, let me see. Yeah, it is their time. And you know what? Sales is a service. Sales is not just you collecting money for you. Sales is you giving someone what they want. So it's not something that we should ever really feel weird about. All right. I have Kristen and let me see, and Frank signed up for live work reviews. I don't see Frank here. So Kristen, let me go ahead and bring you out. How can we help today?
Well, hello. I thank you, Ashley. We sent kind of a form to call in
Mhm.
or just to kind of go through that. The first questions we had were on the newsletter format. And if you go to the saved replies, we have one that we created, but we have this click me to replace box, but we
Okay.
can't replace it with anything. So we're not sure what to do with that.
Okay. All right. Let me pull that up and we can go look at that together. Okay. So that's in your saved replies.
Yes, it is. The one that we were able to, we just deleted that box and then we just put in pictures. If you go to the Delta Dynamics Insights, that's one where you can see that we weren't sure how to input. Yeah, right, like that, like right there. Click
Mhm.
me.
Yeah. So this is where you would maybe replace this with an image. Were you wanting to use an image here?
We weren't sure how to do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you just hit there's replace right here. And
Okay.
so you would then choose an image from your
Oh,
library, right?
wow.
So you could like
Okay.
pop that guy right there. And
Oh, geez. Okay, I hit every button and I didn't get that. Okay.
no worries, no
So,
worries. It's yeah, you just make sure you've selected the image and then replace is this option that you want to look for.
okay. Okay. So then our next question is how do you create like a text box? If you get out of there and you go to our other one, so it's the power of the playlist, the Delta Dynamics Insight. Yeah, the one right above template two. Yep. So what we're trying to do is create a template that we can use month after month.
Mhm.
And if you go down, keep going down, in between those two pictures, we're not sure how to make it easy to format. Uh,
Okay. All right. Tell me a little bit about what we're wanting to do right here.
well, what we were thinking, and I don't know if this has the capability, but kind of like on PowerPoint, if you can create a text box and then you can move the text box where you want it or the pictures where you want it. We
Mm,
were trying to put that text closer, the one you have highlighted, to the root canal for the soul.
hmm.
That's Tracy's blog, and then the other one, the chartreuse one, close to ours. Okay.
All right. So what I've just done here is I've selected the text, and then
Mhm.
under this more paragraph, we have a right align. Is this kind of along the lines of what you're thinking?
I
Yeah,
want
Tracy.
the layout to be a little more like if you scroll up to the one right above it, Kristen's message, so it doesn't, that squishes it over a little bit
Well, I
more than I
think
want.
that has to do with the spacing then.
Okay,
Yeah, is that
okay.
Oh, you mean like the line height? You want it to be perhaps like spaced out a little bit more like that?
No, no, no,
Oh.
like more words on one line. So
yeah.
that
Oh,
second
got
line
you.
might be on the first line. Does that make sense?
Got you. Yeah, yeah. I am not entirely sure. I'd have to get into the code view because I don't and I don't know that I would be able to find it readily. Um, I don't know. Greg, do you have any ideas about the formatting of this section right here and maybe why it might are these tabs? No. Um, right? Like why it's sort of smushing down to the right-hand side?
Hmm. Without looking at the code, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, this could have been, was this copied and pasted, excuse me, from somewhere? Um,
No, I just typed it in.
okay.
And
Oh,
tried to, align it, but it's
yeah.
like a
I think
text
we'll see
box.
if I can pull this up on my end here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is I'm not really sure how
And what's
that
the
would
name of
be.
the saved reply? I'm gonna go.
This one is called Delta
I'll
Dynamics
put it in.
Insights with the
Okay.
subject line Power of the Playlist.
Okay.
All right. So
So,
while Greg is investigating the coding on this, let's keep it coming. I know you had a few questions.
okay. So, um, in doing a newsletter, you guys have great templates here. Is there the other option of using Canva as a tool to kind of create your newsletter in Canva and then drag that over to the body? And if you did that, can you embed buttons for your call to action, like join here or now?
Mm. So the
We're
way
kind
that
of,
yeah, the way that you could combine Canva is really it's quite similar to what you're already doing, meaning you are using stuff from Canva as images, and then you've got buttons, right? So
right,
if you wanted if you wanted to go kind of more traditional product marketing email, right, where everything is basically an image that you could click that could take you somewhere, then that is something that you could do. But you would want to make the images hyperlinked for one. And that's kind of the philosophy behind, say, for instance, you subscribe to I don't know, a travel company that sells gear and what have you. If you click, sometimes you see their emails and they're very beautifully kind of pretty image focused, right? And if you click basically anywhere, it takes you to that product page or that blog post or what have you. That's essentially the idea of if you're going to be using Canva to kind of create newsletter content, you would be, section one of newsletter, here's all the stuff that's on it. It's all an image from Canva. You're bringing it in here. You absolutely need to make sure that you are including alternative text because the downfall or sort of the flip side of the coin there, if you are going to be using very image forward emails, is that a lot of people don't actually allow images to be downloaded fully to, say, their mobile devices. And in those instances, people aren't able to actually read what you're saying, right? So at the very least, you want to make sure that you've got some alternative text here. This is important for your deliverability anyway, so you want to have this in your in any image that you include, regardless. But that is something that you want to take into account, and then just make sure that you click insert link here so that this hyperlinks to go somewhere. Again, if you are going to be image focused in that way, I would maybe have everything written out as well, maybe on a blog post, and then have the hyperlink here go to that blog post.
okay. Do you have any questions?
No, that's that. No.
So the second set of questions was the subscription. So I built a landing page yesterday, and so they go to the landing page, they sign up for a newsletter or a blog. Do we need to have an authorized email to ensure they opt in? And how do you unsubscribe? We're not sure how to do that.
Yeah. So so they are subscribing when they fill this form out. My recommendation is like we don't do a double opt-in necessarily. Like they don't have to go click a link in their email to subscribe.
Okay.
But the recommendation just generally when you're creating a funnel is going to be to obviously have a page like this one that you've created, have a campaign that is your initial nurture campaign. You're telling them, hey, you're subscribed. You'll be seeing the next one that comes out. In the meantime, here's some tips. And maybe you send another couple of emails after that, maybe prompting them to respond, say more about themselves. But where they go immediately after they fill this form out is to a confirmation page. And that confirmation page says, you're in the club, so excited to have you, et cetera. Check your email. Go check your email right now. And if you don't see something from us within the next 5 to 10 minutes, email us, get in touch, or what have you. And so that way they're looking for that email from you and they're following the steps that you gave on that page to, whitelist you and all that kind of good stuff. And then of course, if they aren't seeing that, then they can get in touch with you and then you can figure out what's going on.
Ashley, if you fill that out and then hit join now, or just
Yeah.
put something random. Um, the and then you could see what pops up and see if that is good. Is that okay
Yes,
as
that's
far as a
fantastic.
confirmation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. And then you're
and then we
sending them back to your homepage. Yeah, that's fantastic.
okay. Okay. On that, the question was there's our logo there, Delta Dynamics. It flows. It has an automation kind of swooping in. How do I change that if we didn't want that?
Wait, where is this? I'm sorry.
On the landing page.
On the landing page. Okay.
Yeah, when it comes, that the Delta Dynamics there, it comes in from the left. How do I
Yes.
change that if I didn't want that?
I don't know if there's a way to do that on these landing pages, but there is a way to just use pages to make this look the way that you want to. So if you don't want that animation, my recommendation would be just to recreate what that landing page is doing on a page. So this would be, I'm just going to go blank because this is really simple. I'm going to do a 2-column section with a photo on the left, just like we have there. And then you just swap this guy out for, see if I can find him, this one, I think.
Yep.
Right. And then what we'll do here is I'm going to remove this stuff. Oops. Tell you what, let me remove this, and then I'm going to keep this here. And I'm going to replace what's here with form in brackets. There we go. And then I'm going to go up here to settings, lead settings. We're going to show it on the page. And then what do we have? Here we go. All right, so lead capture headline was join now. And what did you have on your button here? Join now. And I think you had that green. Here we go. And there's our lead capture message. And obviously we can modify this to your liking. You can modify what you want in the lead capture field after they register. So on landing pages, you do have the ability to have that pop-up message. What I would do in lieu of that here is just create a confirmation page that maybe has that image just blown up to full screen size, kind of extended to its largest capacity. And that way they're being redirected to a page that says check your email. So I would send them to a confirmation page if you have one. If you don't, I'm just going to leave this. I'm going to leave this at stay on this page, but you will want to redirect to a confirmation page. That campaign that you have set up, let me see, what do you have in here? Thank you for joining. There we go. So yeah, all you need to do to kind of finish this up is to include that redirect there to a confirmation page. And essentially what you're doing here now is you've got this set up, and we need a little bit more spacing here, of course. And, you can format this a bit differently, but this is more or less doing the same thing that you're doing here. You can just play around with how it's displaying here.
Yeah, no, that's great. And my follow-on question to that is on the bottom there, you have a footer.
Yes.
In the landing page, oh, I see right there. Can you, on the landing page, is there any way to not have the footer? Because I didn't see an option for that.
I don't think so. No, the landing pages really are just like a quick and dirty simplified way to put together the front page of a funnel. If you want to dial in more controls, then the recommendation is always going to be to create something similar on a page.
Okay. And then if somebody clicks on that homepage and says, hey, I want to be part of your blog, I want to sign up, does a tag automatically go to their name? Or how does that tag work?
Yeah, the tag is going to be applied at the point of opt-in. So with the landing page that you have set up, that's going to be whatever this tag is here. So
Ah,
this, I would come up with whatever you want that designation to be here. So maybe this is mailing list, or this is newsletter, whatever it is that you are offering at that point where they're registering. So in this case, we are registering for a newsletter. So I would maybe add newsletter here,
okay,
right?
right.
And so when someone opts in there, that's going to
Trigger.
have this tag on their contact, and it will also send them this campaign. So that campaign will be on the contact. And yeah, you'll be able to go find them in your system. And then when you are sending your newsletter, you'll be filtering for this tag, filtering your contacts for this tag to then send that message.
Okay, so that just begged another question. If I have a thank you coming to them, and then I want them to get the campaign of newsletters, do I add that to that one section that was right there?
So it looks, so the newsletters, if I'm understanding correctly, these are something that you're going to be sending out like
Oh yeah,
with current updates, right?
yeah, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I would do here, so typically my recommendation is going to be just as a standard practice, where you have someone who is newly opting into your website, especially if they're opting in for some kind of a free thing that you're offering. Now, in this case, this is just offering the newsletter. Send them straight to newsletter with the newsletter tag. The next newsletter that you publish, it will go to them. If they are opting in to get a free thing from you, so they are engaging as a lead, trying to obtain a solution from you that you're offering on your website, you want that next step to be, after they get that free thing, for them to engage with the next step in your sales process. So that might be watching a video so that they can purchase a course. It might be booking a call to get on a discovery call with you. So generally speaking, my recommendation is that if you have a newsletter funnel, fine, tag them with newsletter. And then the next time you send a newsletter, you're filtering for that newsletter tag to send to those people. Otherwise, you want to have some kind of an initial nurture campaign where you are telling them about who you guys are, the stories about your clients that you've served, and really trying to engage that new lead toward taking a next step with you. That sort of strike when the iron is hot mentality. So you have this person who is clearly interested enough in you guys to put their information on a website. You want to try to act as soon as possible to see if there's an opportunity to work together. And so an initial nurture campaign is really good for that. And if you're using that approach, you're not going to put them on the newsletter list until after they've received that series of emails, right? Because the idea is maybe in the first week or 2 weeks, you're showing up in their email inbox, you're giving them value, you're introducing yourself, and you're kind of teasing out this, hey, it'd be really cool if you engaged with this video, or, clicked this link and booked a call, or, hit reply and said whatever. And your best opportunity to engage someone that way is really in the very beginning. So yeah, this is a very simple approach to getting someone onto the newsletter list if they kind of already know you and want to get your newsletter. But in all other cases, you're going to want to use an initial nurture campaign.
Okay, fantastic. This is all exceptionally helpful, Ashley. Thank you very much. I have one last simple question.
Sure.
I mean, I could go on for another hour, but how do you, if they want to unsubscribe, how does that work?
Yeah, so a couple of different ways. As a rule, this is something that is already included in the footer of your emails. You can actually modify this at your own risk. If you go to your contact settings, there is a link down at the bottom. If we go to general settings under contact settings, you've got down here, it's this one right here, this custom email footer. So there is one, you can actually see it if you send something, like create a contact in your system and send it to yourself. There is a global unsubscribed link that is included. And then you can also choose to copy and insert this tag if you wanted to customize what that footer looks like. So that's a global unsubscribe, meaning that if they want to opt out of everything, they can click that. It'll take them to a little page with a form that's like auto-generated in AttractWell, and they can opt themselves out of individual campaigns that they may be on, or they can just choose to unsubscribe from everything. That's the primary option, that is what is automatically set in your system, and you don't really have to fool with it at all. The other option is, let's just say, for instance, you are launching a program or product, and you have a sales campaign that's applied to your contacts for that set period of time while your cart is open or leading up to it. You can use an automation that they can click from inside of those campaign emails to remove them from just that campaign. Right. So if you say, if you're not interested in this offer right now, and you'd only if you want to just keep receiving our newsletters and not these messages, all you got to do is click this link, and then that automation will take that campaign off of them. And so that way you've got them basically saying, not these communications, but I'll stay on the others. And so you're keeping a subscriber without risking losing them completely.
Okay. No.
With that, do you know how to trigger the sales campaign from the get-go? You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much,
Thank
Ashley
you.
and Greg, for all the great work. Well,
Of course.
if you wanted to get some help, that you mentioned at the very beginning, hey, we can have somebody help kind of maybe do our onboarding, if you will, funnel. Do we just set that up with you guys through an email?
Yeah, like you would want to have somebody set it up for you?
Yes, or with us.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just attractwell.com/concierge, and you can set up a call with the team, and then you guys can kind of explore what the best option is.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing great work, you guys.
Thank you.
All right, great questions today. Thank you guys for coming out. Excited to come back next week, where I believe we're going to be talking about whether or not we should post our prices on our website. Interesting conversation. Look forward to having you guys here then. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Take care.